Most women lose their pretty privilege and their femininity the moment that they become financially stable. But if money is supposed to make your life easier, why does their life become harder? Because when you lose your pretty privilege, life does get harder. When you become irritable and stressed the whole time, life does get harder. But it's not work that makes us uglier. It's just the dysregulation that comes from our nervous system and from our hormones. And obviously we can't just sit there and just be beautiful all day. We need to actually do something with our lives. And that's why in this video I'm going to tell you how to stay beautiful, regulated, and become successful while glowing up, no matter what job you're doing. And if you think that it's too easy for me to speak because I have some magical privilege or something, girl, no. I literally did the worst of the jobs. I cleaned washrooms, I worked night shifts, I attended people that were very disrespectful with me. All of this just to move to another country and to be financially independent when I was 20. But you know what? My physical appearance never became coherent to the job that I was doing because I never identified with it. And thanks to the teachings of my Slavic mom and grandma, I always knew that looks, beauty, and an aura that is relaxed and regulated can take me way further than money alone. That's why right now I have a job that I truly love, that it doesn't feel like work even when I spend many hours doing it. I share with you all the practical ways that I use to stay regulated, beautiful, and feminine, and at the same time also how to create for yourself a job that actually makes you happy and makes it easier to stay in your feminine energy. You really owe yourself to hear this, to know this, because I either started from where you are right now or from way below that. So you can make it. If I made it, you can make it. As always, I will start from the part that no woman that is both feminine and hardworking wants to admit. I'll give you the unfiltered reality of when it's safe to rely on help and when you should only count on yourself. Because there are so many misconceptions around this topic and so many people out there on the internet constantly misguide women into taking wrong decisions. This kind of woman always delegates everything that doesn't feel feminine. Every task that feels like it's gonna pull her out from her feminine energy is gone. It goes to someone else. Many times it doesn't take anything but asking someone and they will just say yes. Why? Because maybe this is a lot for you but it's absolutely nothing for them. For example, my boyfriend and I have some problems that no matter what I don't have to care about them because I know that he will solve. And then there are other problems that he doesn't have to care about because I will solve them just because it comes natural for me. In fact, whoever is making you feel like expecting people to do things for you, to help you, to be there for you, just for the sake of making your life easier is selfish, run. Run because they are just trying to exploit you, to extract from you, and to take everything that they can without giving anything in exchange. All of them. Actually, many women are so afraid of accepting a man's help when it comes to their job, finances, or even their business. But do you think that men go through these processes the moment that they ask a girl out just because she's attractive? Do you think they sit there and think, what if she thinks that I only want her because she's attractive? The right connection will always benefit both partners because they can both give something that the other person needs. A man that is in his masculine energy, that is a provider and is even wealthy, let's say, is just a normal person. Where can he get the safety of feminine energy if not from a woman that is emotionally stable, relaxed, feels safe around him, and feels safe receiving? That's the only place where he can feel safe. You may not realize it now, but your presence alone already brings value. Your presence as a woman is the value. But people mislead you here because you can do this if you're genuinely interested in the man, if you genuinely want a future with this person and you can see it. However, if you don't really want this person, using a man, using a woman, using anyone backfires. Using people backfires. I will never tell you, take the first wealthy man that you find and try to extract from him. Why? Because I've seen so many people unhappy in very, very sad relationships just because they started something with someone for whatever financial reason. Also, never rely on the man alone. Don't think that a man can fix your financial situation, your business, and everything. You should never be in the position where he thinks that you cannot live if you're not happy. Never. There are so many women online that claim that they depend fully on their partner, that they spend all their time at home doing nothing, and their partner provides 100% for them, and they don't have to worry this and that. But now look closely. These women post every day or every week, and they have hundreds of thousands of views or millions. That is a job. They have brand deals, they get paid for views. They don't rely on that man completely. They are generating their own money. If you believe that they are genuinely doing that for free, that's wrong. This is not how social media works. This is not how the world works. That's why I hate that women get misguided by that, because that is not okay. A man can disappoint you, a woman can disappoint you in any moment. People are not predictable, and your financial situation has to be predictable. The best thing that you can do, either you are in a relationship or in a 9 to 5, is find something that you truly love doing and that could potentially make you money. Start investing time in that and learn, master. Do it even if it sucks, okay? But every single time that you do it a little bit better. Learn something more, even if it doesn't make much money in the beginning, even if it makes even barely any money. But learn, start moving towards something. There are right now so many ways for women to make money in creative ways. You don't have to do a regular job anymore. Most people already don't do this type of jobs, and these jobs may disappear because of AI as well. But that's not even the point. You can literally find so many things. It's not just social media. You know, in this era, there are so many things that you can do. You can even have a shop on Etsy. Either you sell a digital or physical product there. Maybe you can start painting something and sell it. Maybe you're good at something that has to do with AI and technology. Maybe there are so many ways right now for us to create a job for ourselves. All it takes is a little bit of research and patience. And I know that in the beginning maybe they don't make the same money like a 9 to 5, but at the same time, the more you do these things, the more you find the way up. If you follow the rule of I do today, I see the outcome, and for the next time I learn something new, and then next time I do it, I integrate it. This is how you learn a job, okay? But you have to find what suits you, and this is how you start creating a job for yourself that you truly love. However, if you do it for the sake of money only, you will get the same feeling like a 9 to 5. Why? Because we as women have the power of nurturing. This power of nurturing is what attracts people to us. It's something that men cannot give. Not with a 9 to 5, not even with a 9 to 12. The moment you do something for the sake of money, this breaks. But if you use that power to bring safety with your nurturing energy, then anything you do flourishes. For example, this channel is small, but I have mostly female audience, and brands know this. Brands can see my statistics from their tools, and they consider a female audience a very good potential buyer. So they always offered me brand deals and all of that, but I never accepted any of them. Why? Because I would not use that service. I would simply not use that app. I would not buy that item. Why would I scam you? Why would I basically tell you, get this, when I would not get it myself? I'm rather working on my own business, on my own brand, and the moment that I will have to represent that, I will feel safe receiving and creating. And that's how I'm not sacrificing my femininity while working hard. Even if it's less money right now, I know that the moment that you give away your essence in exchange for money, that's the moment that your job steals your spark, your job. But can you be financially independent from scratch without any help of a partner or a family, of anyone? Obviously. Look, my mother never requested me to work, but I started from scratch when I was 20. I left my hometown. I didn't know the language. I didn't know any people there. I didn't have a place. I had some money that I saved from my previous job. That was it. Some money in my bank account. Precisely was 5,000 euros. For my mom, I could have lived there forever. I had no pressure, besides the fact that I wanted to be free. My household was toxic, and that was a very big motivation. But I wanted to be independent. I did awful jobs. Awful. They included cleaning washrooms, night shifts, even risky environments, risky people. And despite having access to many wealthy people, because this was a wealthy environment, I never tried to look for my way out through a man. I saved money every month. I swallowed disrespect and all the pain of cleaning this because it's very painful. I would come home and throw up. I did everything in order to keep my energy, my femininity, and my beauty intact despite all of this. And after 1 year and a half, I didn't have to worry anymore about money because I prepared a cushion for myself in order to be stable without a 9 to 5. I started investing in my knowledge and taking only jobs that I loved, which by the time were mostly acting and modeling, because I used to live in a place where there were many opportunities and my DMs and my email was constantly flooded with modeling agencies that were requesting me. I had something clear in my mind, and it was the fact that no matter what happens, I will never ever spend my whole life working a job that I don't like, a 9 to 5, for someone that is just willing to extract from me. I was willing to do a 9 to 5 in case of emergency just to build myself up again, but never just being relaxed into that, settling in and just having a life based on a 9 to 5. And if you hate your 9 to 5 too, you don't need to know what you want to do for the rest of your life, what your career is gonna be. All you need is to set this boundary that you say, this is not the life that I want. You just have this clear boundary. That's not me. Okay, I can do it temporarily, but that's not me. Therefore, your brain will guide you through the decisions and through the path that it will always put you away from that. Because I swear, since then, I never had to go back to 9 to 5. I never had to spend a day doing a job that I didn't like. Maybe a few days because I took some jobs that I didn't really appreciate as a hostess. But it was not something that I was tied to. Somehow, some way, I always found my way out, my way to avoid that. And most of the time I was far away from my parents. I didn't have a partner. I had to pay my bills. I had to pay my rent. I had, as you see, zero privilege. I did not have someone to handle me money. But you have to be smart, to see opportunities and to not feel guilty when they come to you. You have to understand that taking money for your time is okay. Taking money for your presence is okay. Not spending money when you go out in order to have your safety cushion is okay. It's okay to stop giving so much and start taking a bit. Many women that were doing the same awful job as me, they didn't save any money, they didn't invest in their knowledge, they didn't try to evolve at all. They just stayed there, they fell into this work-home loop, and they're still there, still feeling sad, still feeling bad about their lives because nobody liked the job, but they're still there. Meantime, if you live a little bit below your possibilities, you can create a better life for yourself. Because you can earn time where you don't have to work, and you can invest into something that will build you up, that will genuinely upgrade your life. You will be able to take care of yourself in the future without the commitment of showing up for someone every day, giving away your energy every day to 9 to 5. And this is like literally the worst case scenario. I'm talking in case you don't have anyone to rely on. So no matter where you are at the moment, this is applicable to you. But the reason why the quality of my life always increased and I got better and better jobs over time was because when I was at my worst, I never identified with the job. I never identified with that version of me. You are not the job that you do. You are not the person that they treat you like. I never thought of myself as the girl that was cleaning the toilet. I never thought of myself as the girl that they could humiliate and tell her what to do, even in a disrespectful way. I never accepted that role. And because I kept growing up and staying feminine and taking care of myself, life gave me more opportunities. The moments that you can have some money, some safety, but you also have your beauty, your personality, your aura, life will give you anything. So now I'm going to tell you how to stay beautiful and feminine no matter what your situation, what is your job, and how to not earn money in exchange for your privileges. Having more money doesn't guarantee you an easier life because as a woman, our happiness comes from our internal state as much as it comes from our external comfort. Money can guarantee comfort, but it can't guarantee regulation. And we as women thrive on regulation, on relationships that make us feel safe, on our relationship with ourselves, feeling beautiful, feeling like we genuinely love ourselves. And this doesn't depend on money, this depends on our nervous system, on our hormones, because they mostly decide how we look, unless you get a ton of surgery, of course. But still, even then, because Being puffy, tired, and all of that still decreases your beauty a lot. Being beautiful makes your life easier just as much as money does. Being regulated makes your life easier just as much as being beautiful and money does. But most women, while they gain a privilege, they lose another. So instead of a big life upgrade, they just replace the problem that was causing them unhappiness, and then they blame themselves because why am I not grateful despite my life getting so much better? First of all, in order to stay feminine while working hard, you have to understand that our hormones and our nervous system are very reactive to stress. While men can thrive on being productive, disciplined, doing more and more, and be proud of themselves because of that, femininity thrives on slowness. Everything you do outside of your job has to revolve around regulating your nervous system, relaxing, releasing that tension. Either it's working out, taking care of yourself. Always needs to have as main purpose regulation. I learned this when I stopped abusing myself with hours in the gym, waking up at 6 a.m. when I could have rested a bit more because my body truly needed. When I stopped restricting every food that I wanted all the time. And when I stopped doing all of this, my body debloated, my acne cleared, my acne cleared, okay? My pretty privilege increased so much. Why? Because our system thrives on slowness. And if you ignore this, you can ignore it, but your hormones and your nervous system are gonna give you the receipt. They will show you this is the price, and it will show you on the outside very fast, even if on paper you do everything right. Maybe you expect an amazing body because you work out so much, and you go to sleep at the time, and you wake up at that other time, and everything is the same the whole month despite your cycle because you don't even care about your cycle. And one day you wake up bloated, with acne, with your hair dry, your face looking mostly dead, you even lose part of your pretty privilege. And then you get confused because I'm doing everything right, you know. Yes, you're doing everything right for a man's nervous system. And instead of getting compensated for your work, you get compensated with more stress. Everything, all of this in exchange for stress. Even if you can do everything fast, even if you can be disciplined and productive, all of this just like men, doesn't mean that your nervous system is built for that. And sooner or later, it's gonna show you the receipt. And you have to pay. As women, we don't get results based on how much effort or how many hours we put into something, but based on how regulated is our body while we do it. How regulated we are at the moment when we decide to start doing it. For example, every video that I post, I have a list of concepts that I use in order to guide myself and make it make sense, not getting too chaotic. I can sometimes start making a video or start making this list and be not ready to output. I have to fill my cup first. But if I don't fill my cup first, I can sit there 7 hours and it will still be not enough, not satisfying for me to see it. However, there are days where I filled my cup first and my nervous system is ready to output, to give to others as well. And that is the moment when I actually watch the video and I think, yes, this is exactly what I meant. This is exactly what I wanted to say. And I said it in the best of the ways. That's why I don't have a clear schedule for my videos. I don't always work on the same days every week. I just pick the day of the week where I'm the most regulated, my cup is completely full, and I can also fill your cup. We can be in that feminine energy and work from flow, take much less time, do much better job, or be in depletion and still give even more energy, more time, more everything, trying to give from an empty cup, and then we will hate everything about what we did. We will hate even the work itself. That's one of the reasons why I believe that 9 to 5 was not made for us. It was not made considering our nervous system or our hormones. Another thing, input as much as you output or more. Okay. You know, most women, they give to others and hope that they will get the same back. They don't get the same back and they get resentful. And then they give even more, trying to make them notice what they actually give. And they keep not getting anything in exchange. And then they lose their feminine energy because it gets replaced by anger, because they were giving with the goal of receiving. But you know what? You can give the same to yourself. Every time I give something to someone, some energy, some whatever, I give that to myself and more. For example, every single time that I post a video, I take a whole day for myself to refill my own cup, to take back my own energy. I give the same to myself like I give to you. Every time I do something for my boyfriend or for my mother, I take time to do the same for myself and more. That's why my energy stays full, and people can see this. The moment that they see that my energy is full, they mirror this energy back to me. And that's why everything that I give, I get back as well, the same amount. Why? Not because what I give is better than what these other women give, but just because of the energy, that I have while giving and after giving. I'm not giving with the purpose of getting the same back right now. I'm not giving from neediness. As women, we're very nurturing, but it's very easy to go from nurturing to providing. And that is a very masculine trait. And in that trait, we can't thrive. We can't be providing and regulated at the same time. And it's a very thin line, almost unnoticeable, because nurturing is when you feel so fulfilled that you feel ready to give to others, because you want to give to others. Providing, that is when you already start feeling depleted, but then you still prioritize giving to others, other people's comfort, other people's wants and needs. Maybe because you want to be liked, maybe because you want to feel needed, maybe because you want to be nice. But your nervous system is crashing. This is when you become resentful and irritated, dysregulated. And this doesn't make you a monster. This makes you a woman with a woman's nervous system. And everyone else is just benefiting from you, extracting from you. Every single day I take some time for myself alone to read a book, to take a walk on my own, with my own music, with my own thoughts. Every single day I take an action that brings me back to myself, because I know that she needs me more than anyone. Also, in order to feel feminine and at our best, we also need to feel beautiful most of the time. To be honest, my life is so much better when I'm beautiful all the time. Even if I'm at home, no matter what I'm doing, if I feel beautiful, I show up differently. That's why I work on raising my baseline beauty, which is the beauty that I wake up with in the morning before getting ready. For example, I got this eyelash and brow kit to tint and lift my lashes and eyelashes at home, which is not even expensive, but it allows me to wake up in the morning and have my eye area already looking flawless. I do face massages so my face stays lifted and I don't need crazy contouring or crazy makeup. I take protein shakes so my skin can produce better collagen and my skincare can do a better job. I have a whole video on how to look high maintenance, and there you can have many tricks that literally cost no money, but they raise your baseline beauty so much. When you raise your baseline beauty, your femininity and your confidence increases so much. Because be real, no woman feels confident while looking like a homeless. But sometimes we neglect ourselves so much that unless someone has to see us, we look like homeless people in our own environment. With all respect to homeless people, but if you have a roof, you have no excuses. Also today I feel already tired and hot, so I want to make a whole video about how to stay feminine while working hard and like giving you more of these tips exactly. But today I wanted to center this video mostly on making you understand that no matter what's your situation right now, it doesn't have to be like this forever. You don't have to just accept it and be there forever. As a woman, you have 3 pillars to work on constantly in order to be happy. One is your money, one is your beauty, and one is your femininity. Once you have these things, no one can take anything away from you. You can rebuild everything from scratch as many times as it takes. You can start from zero and make your way up, as long as you feel safe receiving and taking what is given to you. Okay? I love you so much. I genuinely love all the women on this channel so much. If you have some questions, clarifications, whatever that you want to talk about, I'll be there in the comments for you. I always reply to all of the comments, mostly. So feel free to say anything you think unfilteredly, just like I say. I say everything without thinking twice. I just throw out there anything that is on my mind. So I love this community with my whole heart, and I see you in my next video.